Welcome everybody, Rap K Podcast. We are back. You know, it's been a weekend. So long story short, we don't got the full crew in here. They'll be back next week. Lots of scheduling going on. So we had to still get this pod out here. So this is just a dynamic duo right now.
Yes, sir.
This is Luka and Kyrie, right?
Yes,
This is how we
sir.
get to the finals.
Hell yeah.
This is how we get to the finals, man. I know you put heavy money on Dallas. We don't ever get to talk
Oh, yeah.
basketball. So let's just talk basketball real quick. How you're really confident in Dallas, right? Or are you
Yeah.
just hoping for
Like you
Dallas?
said, they already got the best player in the series on their team, and you got the best ball handler. I feel like the extras they got, like Lively, is pretty effective on defense.
Mm-hmm. He's
And
been awesome.
yeah, he's been doing his thing. And PJ Washington, a good role player too. Like he show up whenever Luka and them getting double teamed all fucking game. You know they gonna rely on him. So I'm feeling pretty good about Dallas, even though I know the Celtics is a great contender, so it could go either way.
They match up so
but,
good again.
yeah.
Like the problem with Minnesota had the stifling defense, but the problem was they didn't have nobody to guard Luka, and they didn't have nobody to guard Kyrie.
Right.
Those specific players.
They got two players now that can.
Boston, yeah.
Yeah.
Drew Holiday and Derek White. Now you know we both love Kyrie, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
jail, bro. That is jail.
I still don't see nobody locking up Kyrie.
Yeah,
like
nah,
period.
you
like
can't.
he just too
Yeah, he's too nice.
shifty, too agile.
And he
you know
got
what
to
I'm
get
saying?
this one. He got to get it back on Boston. He's got to.
Like what like I feel like Kyrie deserved the Black Mamba
Yeah.
fucking nickname because he too slick, bro. Like his movement is just crazy, bro.
Yeah, the
like it's
fluidity
hard to
he
stay in
has.
front of. But obviously it's the same for Kobe. But I feel like Kyrie like was fluent as fuck with the ball.
Yeah. Kobe had fluidity, and it was a different fluidity than Kyrie. But Kyrie is like the one. I know they talk about the D-Book comparisons because he kind of plays like Kobe too. But from a pure like just like fluid standpoint, like Kyrie is the one that's got that. So I'm glad we got to talk some basketball.
Yeah.
I'm rocking with the Mavs. I'm hoping for the Mavs, man. I think Derek Lively ain't missed a shot since the second round of the playoffs, so he's got to continue that. Gafford just got to stay out of that damn locker room. He goes to the locker room 3 times a
Boy.
game. It's gonna be. I think regardless, it should be a good battle. I don't see a world in which even though Boston matches up well, I don't see a world in which Boston can completely like annihilate.
Yep, I got the
Dallas.
Mavs 4-2.
Yeah,
That's what I'm calling it.
I'm good with that. I'm rolling with that. I got money on it. I won't say where because no free sponsors, no free shout outs, but I was glad we got to talk a little bit of hoops because this week in rap was pretty light as far as the music goes, but there was some news to talk about. There was some news. First of all, no Money Murray, no Adi, no Chris, like the notorious M hater and then the notorious M lovers. So I don't even feel right talking about Houdini. But what'd you think about it?
I think it was. It's like obviously it sounds like kind of outdated,
Yeah.
it being Eminem, but that's what I think was gonna sell if we is talking about Eminem. Like that was like the Slim Shady esque like vibes. You know what I'm saying? So. And everybody's saying that the next album's supposed to be the death of Slim Shady. So like I feel like if anything, if he see how this, I'm pretty sure the numbers on Houdini doing pretty well.
Yeah, of course. I
In
mean,
comparison, if it was just Marshall Mathers, rapping, I think that it should open his eyes up to him killing the idea of killing Slim Shady. You know what I'm saying? I think Slim Shady should always stay around as long as he gonna rap. But if he is gonna drop an album called The Death of Slim Shady, make that the retirement album.
yeah. Or you got to really make it like a clear like a 4-4-4 type where it's like from now on you are different.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? From now on we don't expect, we haven't gotten a J album since 4-4-4 unless you count the J Electronica album that J was all off. But
Yeah.
but like in reality you expect a new Jay-Z now. Like you expect that as a chapter marker, and I think if you're not retiring, if you're Eminem with this album, then I think that's what it has to be. I think you have to nail it. So the concept is like the concept we talked about before on the pod is interesting to me, but the the issue, you nailed it, is like he's trying to recapture those elements that like made people love early M, and it reminds me, and I think it's reminding everybody else of just how his music hasn't aged well. Like this sounds, I'm not gonna lie, this sounds not as bad as some of his other recent stuff, because again he is tapping into that part of the Slim Shady that I grew up enjoying. So he has that going for him, but at the same time he's just it's not fresh.
You know what's crazy about the
not
song?
fresh.
It's like I don't like the song, but something about the song just make me think about like how old Eminem really is.
Yeah.
So like if he actually was to go on retirement, I would actually be hurt, even though like I might be talking shit about his newer shit, but like Eminem just a legend. Like him going in retirement is like a crazy thought. Like
But it's
after
like,
all we done been through with him, you know what I'm saying? Like all the memories he gave us.
what's left though, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know what's left. That's what I'm saying. If he about to do the death of a little Slim Shady little album, he might as well make it the retirement album.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
I think it's an interesting thing for him, because you know if this song, like I'm sorry, like it's just gonna be really hard to make a hook that's like abracadabra work for me. like if you just say abracadabra in the hook, like it's gonna be a tough sell for me. But all jokes aside, like I think he tried to tap into the Eminem, especially that last verse where he's just basically, you know, he's trying to be the old M, where he says some offensive shit. He brings up R. Kelly. He brings up, you know, the LGBTQ. He brings up, you know, like all of the stuff that, like, you know, like that made Eminem controversial.
The
and
Meg
he's referencing
line.
it. Hey, what's that?
The Meg line.
Yeah,
that was like the main thing so far I'm seeing.
There's all those things that, like, you know, that we expect from Eminem or old Eminem, and so he is tapping into that, and he's saying it from the perspective of this is what Slim Shady would say now. But so he's not gonna get totally killed by cancel culture for saying that, because he's prefaced it by saying I would say this if I was that, but I'm not. So to me, that song in particular didn't do it. But I still think that there's more there with that. If he continues, which it sounds like the album's gonna be that, like a psychoanalysis of his career and of his image, then I think there's still potential for it to work. But I just, like, you know, I mean, it's tough, man. He's if
you
one of the
play it like
legends.
that, I think it's gonna work. How you just described it, definitely.
I think it's going to be, though. I don't see this being the only song on the album that's Death to Slim Shady that, like, kind of goes that way. So I think he's gonna continue that throughout the album.
I know that the at least last track or two gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
the last track or two is definitely gonna be crazy.
And I think what's gonna work for this album is it's probably gonna be the deep cuts that work better than the, like, because this was him still trying to be pop. Like, this was him trying to do the My Name Is, which he even references, like that, again, that Slim Shady that we all know and love. He tried to bring that back, and I think he didn't do a terrible job with it, but I just think it more so reflects on how music shifted past that, and now that doesn't.
This ain't never gonna work with that goofy ass production he be trying to choose and shit. Like, bro, like
he even did a little chick, you know, like all the shit that he be doing in his old. Yeah,
he needs somebody that's at least 25 on this team, at least.
Yeah, somebody.
I don't know if he do or not, but but obviously I feel like if you're a part of Eminem camp, you're gonna be a yes man for the majority.
But also too, if it is gonna be the death of Slim Shady, I'm not mad at you dabbling back into your sound. It's just, the jury's still out on this, man. It's just a single. I think I'm gonna get more out of the deep cuts where he'll be more transparent. He'll dive into this in a more nuanced way. But these ones, I don't think, if there's more of these records, which there probably will be a balance of these and then the deep cuts, I think I won't be as enjoyable. These won't be as enjoyable for me. So we're gonna talk about it a little bit more next week when we get the full guys back, because I know they're the ones that I gotta see how Amr defended this, because Amr hit the group chat and he was like, "Hey yo, tell me why this shit ain't bad actually." And I was like, I put all the fucking money in the world on that text coming through. On that
So
text.
why is
coming
Houdini actually good? It
Yeah.
isn't.
Yeah, bro, when you just said that, when you just said it isn't in the group chat, I love when the group chat really has turned into like us just like picking somebody to pile on. Like whenever somebody says something, it's just like
For the
it's just
most
like
part,
everybody jumps.
we all
on it.
just be jabbing at each other. Shit
Yeah.
silly.
Yeah. Other things that came out this past week. I feel like I just gotta say it again. That grippy J. Cole shit ain't it. I know there's people trying to defend it. It ain't. It's not it. It's not it. I don't got much to say on it. It's just it ain't.
Yeah, nah. He just need to sit down for like a good. What they saying Drake need to do, I think J. Cole need to do that as well. Just sit down for a minute, though.
I do think though. Speaking of J. Cole, it was interesting. I brought it up last week. It was interesting that like Kendrick track that was titled on the Dreamville page, like it was there for days. That was really. I'm not saying it's real. I don't think it is real, but that was really weird that like a hacker was able to. We see data breaches all the time, and I assume that's what it is. It's like a troll hacking and uploading an AI, Kendrick diss. But if that's the case, I also think it's weird that it was there for quite some time. Like,
yeah, and it sounded too AI-ish to me.
Yeah.
But I was also thinking, like, what if that was like a motherfucking like a reference track somebody
Yeah.
did just to get the code, and he just ended up not like using it or some shit.
and then a producer just
Yeah.
kind of got a hold of it
Yeah,
and uploaded it. I don't know. It was weird. It was weird because I didn't see nobody talking about it either.
yeah, me neither.
Which is really weird because of how big the Drake Cole Kendrick beef was. Like you would have thought that shit would have went, and it just it didn't.
It just
didn't.
flew under the
kinda-
radar.
It completely flew under the radar. Other stuff that happened as far as like new music. Odyssey dropped a project that I listened to. Shout out to Odyssey. That was dope. I gave that a spin. What's that I have
Yeah,
here?
bro, cool as hell. I fuck with bro.
I'll pull up my library here because we had the Marias. I haven't gotten to that. That's not rap, but I want to check that out. I gave that Lil P album a spin. That was fire.
Yeah, he had a lot of fire on there.
Yeah,
for real.
that was fire. How long?
One
ago
of
was that drop?
one of the dudes we went to school with was on that album.
Really?
If you go on that album where it say Prince Jeffe,
Yeah.
that's Nakias.
No shit.
That's Nakias.
My dog,
Yeah.
man. Shout out to Kiss, man. I
Yeah.
used to with a no.
Yeah,
no
fire.
Shit. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Hey, shout out, man. That's really
shout
dope.
out to Nakias or Prince. I'm saying Prince Jeffe.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Shout out to Prince, and then
and he had a fire little verse. I fucked with it heavy.
yeah,
That whole mixtape fire.
yeah that was
Lil
that
P
was
went
smooth.
crazy.
That was smooth. So
I ain't heard him since with the Wilt Chamberlain little EP he had, so that was nice. That's why I was happy. My boy Snoop put me on that mixtape, so I was happy.
yeah, that was a solid mixtape. So shout out to that. And then what else do we have really? That was really it as far as new music. The other thing that we got new music wise was today we got Bia and Cardi B. Did you check that out?
Yeah, I did tap in. I seen Cardi B live stream. She was going. I love Cardi B when she go live and start doing her little rants and shit.
Talking shit. She is good at those lives.
She
when
be holding
talk
it
shit.
down. I fuck with her. Man, I know Offset happy as hell.
Yeah.
I'd be happy if Cardi B is mine. My bitch.
For real, because
Swear.
she holds it down always.
She hold it down for
Always.
the family. Feel me? I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with her in Atlantic. She ain't holding it down for the Atlantic. She need to
Yeah,
drop
that's
some
true.
shit.
That's true. That's
the
true.
only thing that Miles Atlantic but I mean, well, she still bring the man money with all like the streams and shit. So
Yeah, she's still bringing in money even off of that album that's
Mhm.
now like 7 years old. But that's immediately where I went with this. Birdie was fucking. Is this like an Atlantic playbook? You know what I mean? Because like to me it seems like a couple of things are true. it does seem pretty clout chase-ish from Bia. It does, because like it was one simple line, and I get that there's been like a little bit of back and forth, but she jumped out the window and gave him 3 verses. Like,
Did you see her live?
who Bia's?
Bia?
No. Oh, where she previewed it? No,
Yeah.
I just heard the record.
Oh my gosh, she was looking so fucking good, though. I didn't even know she looked that good.
Yeah, no, she's alright.
Boy,
Yeah, she's talented. She's talented.
Yeah, and she can rap too. That whole lot of money song, or
Yeah.
that her first little banger. That song was so hard. I'm like, that was like one of the first songs from a female in a minute. I'm like, damn, like this shit low key hard as hell.
Yeah.
So I fucks with Bia. The little disc that she previewed for Cardi was pretty smooth too. I only heard it one time, but what I heard was it was cool.
Yeah, it was. It like
Cardi B little verse was cool too. The little don't nobody want to be a line. That shit was fire as hell.
Yeah, but that's crazy though, because like she gave one line and then Bia's like, and she got, and then she went and got like a YouTube like that type beat. Did you hear that?
Nah,
like that shit.
I ain't even peep.
No, bro, I'm gonna play for you after the show. You're gonna be like, what's that? Once I say that to you, you're gonna be like, you're not gonna look at that beat the same. You're gonna look at somebody on YouTube tried to remake like that, and it was just like, okay, I see. So that's why, like, to me, it's a little bit clout chasey. Everybody saw how good the Drake Kendrick beef did, so everybody wants that. Everybody wants a piece of that.
But they've been at it for a minute though.
Yeah,
so far, I heard like some shit that was dating back to 2022. So
I don't understand really. I couldn't figure out the origins of it though. I figured out like the shots between them, but I didn't really.
It sounded like a true one of them, because basically like, if you stem from motherfucking Nicki, you gonna beef for Cardi. If you stem from Cardi, you gonna beef with Nicki type shit. So it sound like Bia one of like Nicki proteges type shit. So it was just bound to happen regardless. I don't know exactly how it started, but it was like some little sub-in type shit. Little jab type shit, you know what I'm saying? I think it started with Bia jabbing at Cardi B first, from my understanding. So
that's how I understood it. I just couldn't see like the direct correlation, like it
was also, I think Bia was claiming that Cardi B was like basically like biting her shit, like her ad libs and shit like that, and copying her videos. So I know that was like one of the main things that started it for sure.
But how can Cardi copy when she don't drop?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean?
She be doing. She had a feature run though for a minute though. She had a feature run, so I don't know. Maybe I wasn't paying attention hard enough or nothing to Cardi versus see if it was similar or not. I ain't really dig deep into it, but.
And if this keeps going, listen, Bia can rap. She's talented, all of that, but I don't see a world in which she's able to keep up with all of the backing and support that Cardi has.
Yeah, she got a lot of backing and support, but I think like if they gonna keep it rap, Bia gonna keep up. But if they about to hop on motherfucking social media and get the rah and back and forth, then I mean, we ain't really gonna be paying attention to it like that. But if they gonna keep it rap, I think Bia can keep up for sure.
I agree, man. I think I can't get that out of my head that this is part of the Atlanta playbook, because we talked about Atlantic, like, putting the pressure on Cardi, like, so I think this is part of this. Let's try to keep this name. And if
Atlantic was smart, they would tell Cardi to keep it rap. That way she can fucking drop like some disses and shit on her album, get some more sales off that. Even though it's not like Bia, like the biggest star, but everybody gonna tune in just to hear some drama for sure.
Or even just a couple records before the album. They don't even have to be on the album, just to continue to build momentum. Because I mean, there is gonna be that group of people that kind of forgets about Cardi because of how long it's been. So I think Atlantic's just trying to make that move. But the other thing, and this is to me the big thing. And this is why, I wanted everybody on this, but I'm glad that you're specifically here for this one, because this is my favorite part of rap, is the strategy, the execution of everything that happens. And so Drake, there's a lot of layers to it. Drake has just always been in the news with everything going on. So this week, what's been happening in the world of Drake is academics put out there that there's a artist that he has made big records with that he is not cool with that surprised academics. I guess I want to start there before I get into the reference tracks and where else I'm going with this. I immediately thought Travis because of the fact that when I think of big records with Drake collabing, I think of especially recently, I think of Travis, I think of Future, and then you could throw Thug in there as well. But those are the guys that Drake has really consistently collabed with in the last few years that he has big records with, but nothing's bigger than Sicko Mode. So I'm gonna go there. And plus, when you get to the layer of Drake is kind of, made some hints about Kylie through some records, and Kylie obviously being, the mother of Travis's child. So I think it never seemed like Drake and Travis were like friends. Like I think Drake and Future were friends before this fallout.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Drake and Trav were like hanging out, bro. I don't think it was that type. I think it was a business type relationship, anyways. So it makes sense that something like a woman, which we've seen a woman, be the center of tension between a lot of artists, a lot of just men. So that's where I went with it. And then there was that part of me that was like, if it's Travis, I understand, but if it's Lil Wayne, I'm heartbroken. And I just went to Lil Wayne because I haven't really heard Drake and Wayne like that.
He was.
I know
on
their
the tour
paths
though.
haven't crossed, but
He was on the tour.
Wayne was.
Mm-hmm. Remember, it was like I'm pretty sure it was the end of the tour. If I'm not mistaken, they say he had like an hour segment in the last. I don't know if it was the last
Was it the
show
Cole
or
tour? The one with
I
Cole?
think so. If not, it was the tour before that.
For
It was
All
one
the
of them
Dogs?
tours for sure.
Yeah, for all the dogs.
Yeah, for sure. He was definitely performing at some of them shows. So
Huh. Yeah, I honestly that escapes my memory. So
yeah,
as long as it's not
100%.
as long because that's one of those relationships that like in hip hop that you would just be disappointed if they weren't cool, you know.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's Travis. Do you feel like it could be anybody else really?
I was thinking J. Cole only because of Daylight, little tweet and delete, but he a mega troll, so I'm gonna actually go with fucking Travis for sure. But he was alluding that J. Cole was dissing Drake on
I've seen
Pop.
that picking up traction.
Yeah.
I don't see it, man. I don't see Cole. I could see Drake being mad at Cole for how Cole handled the beef,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't see there being like real tension between them. Like I think that's part of the reason Cole stepped out of it is not just because of Kendrick. It's because I think he's obviously very cool with Drake too. Like I don't see there being smoke on Cole's side for Drake.
Right.
And also to be fair to Drake, I would understand because there was rumors that he was supposed to be performing first person shooter at Dreamfest. And obviously Dreamfest went a different way, but I think it is Trav. It makes the most sense. That's the last big name that we haven't heard beefing with.
Hey, listen, fuck that
And
nigga Travis.
He was on the
Nigga Travis trash as hell. Nigga, every
Okay,
time I hear a song with Drake and Travis, the only person I'm looking for is Drake. He ain't never dropped a verse where I ever gave a fuck.
I'm not about to let that OVO shit
Yeet better.
happen.
Yeet is better. Like 110% better than
I know
Travis
you
Scott.
believe that. I'm laughing, but I know you
110%.
actually believe that. But
I'm dead serious.
Trav and Drake songs are fire because of both of them. We're not gonna sit here and act
Man,
like
that nigga Travis' lyrics be so fucking mediocre, and then his ad-libs be fucking irritating as hell. That shit used to be sounding too damn old to be sounding like that.
But that sound that Travis has is one of one.
Then I hate when he hop on the track and try and make it his song and shit, doing all this. It don't even be sounding like the track no more. Like,
I
bro,
think that's a Drake
get the
and a
fuck
Travis
out of here.
thing.
Drake barely do that though.
But whenever they work together, you notice they always have a beat switch. Always. because it's just because of sicko mode. I think
But Travis always be doing that. Like he even did that shit on Type Shit with featuring Playboy Cardi.
yeah,
Be just
which
be
was
hopping
another
on
reason why I thought that Trav was the one. And then also there was the thing
there.
where
I think he
remember-
yay. That's his problem. He think he yay. Nah, that's not. You ain't even talented like that.
That I agree. He's not Kanye. I'm not saying that, but
I'm saying that's what he think he is, though.
for sure.
That's what he be trying to do shit.
For sure.
He be trying to do shit like that's. He just ain't goated enough to me to be doing shit like that.
I agree with that, but we're not gonna sit here and be like Travis is trash anyways. Drake put him on. Like we're not doing all.
Oh
that.
no, I ain't saying Drake put him on because I heard I
see
first
those
heard
tweets.
Travis when he made Upper Echelon with 2 Chainz and T.I. That's the first song I heard, and I think that shit was on MTV Jams, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no, Trav is.
I know
dope.
he been in the game for a minute.
I'm over. I personally, other than before Pussy and Millions, the last couple Trav and Drake songs were not that good to me. I didn't enjoy them as much.
What's the one he fucked up on? If you
Fair
reading this
Trade.
is too late. That song was ass too.
No.
But the one I was on, if
Because
you
that
reading
one
this
he
too late.
fucked up for sure.
What was that?
He fucked up Fair Trade on CLB. Oh, you're talking about on if you're reading this, I'm gonna pull that up because it wasn't the timestamp. Damn, what was it? But I think it was like right next to the timestamp record. If you're reading this, it's too late. Let's see here. Which song is it, bro? It's Company.
Yeah, Company, dog. Ruined the fuck out of that song, dog.
Yeah.
That shit had me hated. I'm a dog. I go ham, I'm a hog. Get your ass off the fucking track, dog. That shit's ass.
Hey man, you listen. I love Trav, but you're not going in for lyrics.
I know, man. It's the sound too. Like you ruined the whole song.
I agree
The
there,
story,
though.
like,
I agree
bro.
there, though. That's not
on,
Trav.
dog.
It's not a Trav and Drake record I'm excited to hear ever. I can't imagine. Honestly, I think the last time I ever heard that record was when I ran that album front to back. I don't grab that record off that album and throw it on my Drake
I
playlist
fucks
or my
with
Trav playlist.
I fucks with Drake shit on there though.
But I just remember too. Drake had that thing where he was like shooting at Travis's head when he was playing Sirens off the it was on the tour.
Oh yeah. Like he'll turn
he
around,
was lighting that motherfucker
yeah.
up too. He got a couple of shots in
Right.
there. So yeah, man, it's got to be Travis. So you,
Man,
you,
fuck
you
Travis.
Yeah, you don't see it.
Drake,
you don't see
fuck
him carry
Kylie
much.
Jenner if you can. Please.
Okay. We're not.
I would for sure.
This guy. Well, yeah, respectfully, but we're not doing this. Drake just got in trouble for bringing family into beef. You gonna do that again? I mean, hey, look.
The fuck is Travis gonna do? Respond?
Yeah.
You better call side, because
I swear to God, you ain't lying. What's he gonna do? Respond.
like that's the last thing they would worry about.
So I personally don't care too much, although they have had good songs together. That recently, other than Pussy and Millions, they haven't been that fire to me. So I'm cool. I'm not really too pressed about them making up. If they do, cool. If they don't, whatever. Makes sense to me. The thing that I want to get to is the reference tracks. And then there's the last layer of it, the upcoming music that he's been rumored to be on. I think confirmed, honestly, at this point by Camilla herself. But 2 reference tracks leak: Ratchet Happy Birthday, Mob Ties. Which is funny because Ag literally had that one thing he said if Drake had a ghostwrite on a record like Mob Ties, I would be sick to my stomach. So there was that one. Honestly, Ratchet Happy Birthday to me, having a writing credit, which a reference from Party Next Door. Honestly, to me, that's a W, because you know where I stand on that song. I hate that fucking song. That is his worst song.
That's for the hoes.
That was his worst song ever.
That's for the hoes.
I still don't think it even
I just
works
seen
there.
it. I told you. Listen, what I tell you about that song. The other day I seen a girl post that shit on her story. It was her birthday. I'm telling you, that song is gonna live forever,
Was it
bro.
a birthday we cared about?
Huh?
Was it a birthday we cared about?
What you mean?
Well, I
They
mean-
go there. The people who would know her probably care about her birthday. I don't know her.
I know, but should we care about the birthday? You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
but
No?
I'm pretty
Okay,
sure you
then.
gonna see some hoes posted.
Okay,
I'm
okay,
telling
okay.
you,
Okay, I just want to see the bad bitch post ratchet happy birthday.
she was bad.
Oh, okay, so we do care. It's a good, happy belated birthday. Happy
She was
belated
bad for
birthday.
sure.
Yeah, I don't care about that one. The Mob Ties one, where it's like a lot of the lines are similar. You know, that one I believe was 40, right? So, you know, that one. To me, here's where I'm at with like the reference tracks. I personally don't care too much because at this point I'm in the land of assumption, where I'm assuming that there's involvement in a lot of things. There's only about 10 Drake records that exist right now that if I found out that there was reference tracks or writing credits or things of that nature on it, it would upset me. Like the timestamp records, you know, like those type of Drake records
We're
would
gonna make sure we still recording.
yeah, those type of Drake records would hurt me, you know, like those would be the ones that get me upset because those are the ones where he really showcases his ability to rap. The purpose of this song is I can rap. I'm proving to you that I am a pop star, but I can rap better than all you fucking rappers. And he does those well with the timestamp records. So that to me would be the only ones that hurt. Like having writing credits on Hotline Bling, I don't give a fuck. That's a pop record. Name a pop star that doesn't have a writer. And that's what I think we gotta think of Drake as. Like, I'm not saying he's not rap. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is Drake is way more pop than he is rap. You know what I mean? So like for me, I don't look at it. I don't look at it too much. And I honestly assume that a lot of these songs he has, it's a team. It's a collaborative environment.
Right.
And it don't mean that Drake ain't pulling, you know, the weight of the weight of the record. I mean, this one like Mob Ties, it sounded like Vori kind of did, but we also don't know the context of the reference track, and we don't know we don't know too much about it. So to me, I can't look at this Drake record, these Drake records of reference tracks, and be like, oh, see, you know, like, man, that tarnishes his legacy. No, what would tarnish his legacy is if it comes out he didn't write back to back at all, or he didn't write a majority of it, or he didn't write these timestamp records. Like then you start to if you're not writing if it's one thing if you're not writing your pop records. Again, pop stars, not a single pop star doesn't have a writer. It'd be another thing if your raps are being written. If your raps are being written, then to me you have some actual questions and, you know, kind of room for conversation. I don't know. Do you feel the same?
Yeah, most definitely. Honestly, Mob Ties didn't really surprise me.
It
I
kind
was
of did
just-
just because it's a rapish, you know.
It
record.
is. I guess it did surprise me, but I'm not surprised. Like, I already know, like, that Vori was credited previously, so I just ain't know that he did basically the whole song.
Yeah.
But like, I knew he at least did a good majority of helping with the track. So Vori wasn't obviously not credited as a producer, you know. So I know he had like a good little his hand in a good amount of it. So I wasn't too surprised on that. The rest of the motherfucking leagues wasn't really nothing for real. Like 10 bands, I wasn't really nothing crazy. That was probably like the second most one I was kind of disappointed in. But that's like a melodic type song too at the same time. But the rest of them was just like singing pop R&B tracks. So other than Jumbotron shit, probably would you count that as like more like, it's not like the most lyrical.
Yeah,
or like
it's not,
that.
again, it's not a song that it's not a
This
song.
is like some swag rap like type shit.
It's not a song that like. And it's also too to me. It's not a song that's important to me. You know,
Right.
like you know what I mean. Like that's where the bias comes in. Like, I wouldn't get upset if Passion Fruit was like all written by somebody else because that is an R&B jam. But that is one of my favorite Drake records, and I would like to believe that Drake wrote that record. like I said, it's really only the timestamp records and like a few of them other records where he's just rapping his ass off. Like, you know, some of the intros and outros to albums, like Do Not Disturb would be another one I'd throw in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, those type of records are the ones where I'm like, okay, then it matters to me. But these ones, you know, like, hey.
Yeah, like if somebody wrote Tuscan Leather, I'll be hurt.
Yeah,
I ain't
that's
gonna lie,
what I'm
Tuscan
saying.
Leather would be,
That's what I'm saying, man.
that hurt me for real.
Those hurt. But the other ones, man, it is what it is. And again, I'm not shocked anymore because, I mean, we've had this conversation now with Drake for almost a decade.
Right.
You know, so to me it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter too much. The last thing though, and this is where I love this conversation, is the strategy, the predicting, the advising. I love to put myself in the shoes of like an artist's camp and kind of strategize where you would go next. And obviously after the beef, you know, there's been a confirmation now that he is going to have 2 tracks, including a solo track called, I think, Ugly or something like that, on Camila Cabello's album. I think I'm saying that right. Shout out to her. She's dope. But he's gonna have 2 tracks on her upcoming album, dropping June 28th. Now, OVO's had a lot of changes this last couple weeks. We know that. So let's assume that we're now brought into OVO right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the room with Drake. We're figuring out Drake and, you know, whoever the Lucian Grange and whoever the people are that are in that room, sitting down at those executive meetings that he allegedly doesn't attend. But say he's having those meetings right now and we're in there. What is the things you are telling him? How are you telling him to approach these next couple the rest of this year? I'll give you some options. Is it chilling, laying back, letting it simmer? Is it coming back with right away with what style music is it? Is it aggressive bangers? Are you trying to run away from the rap side of it completely and go honestly nevermind-ish, you know, that kind of, you know, that kind of overseas type of music? Like, what are you telling Drake to do right now?
I would tell Drake to go on another feature run and keep jabbing at your enemies, because they saying it's over. So if you want to make it known, like, this shit ain't done for you, still here, get the bops out the way on somebody else shit, keep jabbing at these niggas, and when it come to the 4th quarter of this year, drop an album.
I like that strategy. But where is he going though? You know what I mean? Like, a lot of his frequent collaborators have seemed to have turned against him. You know,
Right.
like,
That's true.
so where like, who's the?
There's always another artist.
There's always
coming up.
opportunity when you're.
There's always another artist on the come up.
Yeah.
So just look for that next artist that's
Which he's good
starving
at.
starving for attention. If they got a bop that's going viral right now, hop on they shit. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. I'll say do that for the rest of the year, all the way until like the last 2 months of the year. Then drop that album, because I mean, I feel like all this little Drake hate train gonna start dying down by the end of the summer. Mm-hmm. I think it's gonna start dying down.
Yeah.
So, and then by the end of the year, shit should be back to normal type shit. You still should have a little buzz off you, like I said, throwing the little jabs on people's features and shit. Obviously, it's about to be hard to find some shit to feature on with the industry going against them and shit. I didn't even think about that when I first said it, but
Yeah.
you can easily find some upcoming artists.
So so if you think about it, the regions that Kendrick really flipped on him was Atlanta and the West Coast, which are two big regions. But Drake really hasn't dabbled in the West Coast too much recently. So to me, it's the Atlanta one that really hurts, because, you know, he name dropped basically everyone in Atlanta. Everyone was already riding with Metro anyways, but him teaming up with that Atlanta, I think, will look weird. So I think where you're looking to go is you're looking to go to New York.
He can come to Detroit right now. He can come to
Hey,
Detroit
man, I
right
would
now
love that.
and collab with Babyface Ray or some shit. It's
I
easy.
would love that.
Easy.
I would love that, man. That would be dope.
That'd be fire. Still on fire.
Yeah.
And V's will definitely give him a fire verse.
Yeah. I'm thinking. You know, I would love Detroit.
And
That would be
Detroit
my first.
right next to the motherfucking Canada.
Yeah.
Like fucking brother and sister.
How has Drake? Honestly, I honestly like Detroit. The sound of Detroit has gotten to that level where like Drake does pop in every pocket. Like that kind of, you saying that kind of breaks my brain because I feel like it almost either should have happened already or should be on the verge of happening with how prominent the Detroit sound is now.
Right.
Like I really feel like, because my head went to immediately New York, Chicago, get on that drill, you know, that like that shit.
He already
that
went to
allows
New
you
York
tough-
though.
What's that?
He already went to New York
Yeah.
with 5-0.
Well, I mean, he could, but again, like, he can't go to West now. He can't go to Atlanta. So if you're going to go to Talk Tough, and, like, I don't think the whole South is, like, united with Travis. Like, it's not like the West Coast with Kendrick. But Travis, obviously, being, you know, from the South, you could go that Memphis route, get those bops out, you know, that type of shit. So Drake's got some pockets of some popular sounds he can still get to. It's just the West Coast and Atlanta are going to be the ones that I don't see coming. So I think he's going to have to look elsewhere. If
fuck around, go international.
Yeah.
Find some motherfuckers in Nigeria that's popping.
Yeah.
Find some motherfuckers in
Well,
Zimbabwe.
even that fucking
Type
UK
shit.
drill, man.
UK,
There's a lot of talent
anything.
out there.
You know, he's already fucking with Central C.
Yeah, I want to see him get a record with Dave because Dave talks his shit. That would be a great record. So to me, I like the idea of Feature Run.
Vibes Cartel just got out of jail. Hit him up. And you know he one of the biggest. He might be the biggest. I know he the biggest from wherever he from for sure. I think Jamaica or whatever. But
Yeah, when you're as big as Drake and as international as Drake, you can find your way around. It's not like Kendrick eliminated the whole world. He just took away certain regions for now. But I think if you're Drake, you know, it's tough because going the Honestly Nevermind route, which I would like him to do Honestly Nevermind better. That was my issue with Honestly Nevermind, was it was ass. Like, he's done this way better. I want to see him do it better. But him doing that would look like you're tucking and running. And at the same time, though, firing back at everybody, you know, I don't think Kendrick's going to keep firing. I think Kendrick feels like this is over and I did what I needed to do, and anything beyond that would be overkill unless it continues to escalate again. I don't see really Kendrick getting back in the ring, but I do feel like it's going to be. Do you think that the internet, the general internet, I'm not talking us now, I'm talking the people that, you know, just say all the bullshit. Do you think that they'll jump on Drake for, like, subbing?
yeah,
I think they will too.
definitely.
So that's kind of another layer that makes it hard, like. But again, I see this as Drake. You are like 85% pop and 15% rap. Like you are a pop mega star and icon in music. So for you, I think that while this made
15 is crazy.
well, this made and that's I'm not slighting Drake. I'm crediting him for how big his audience and his reach is. Maybe that's not the right percentage, but I think that Drake is so big in the pop world that this rap, like, there's a good portion of Drake fans that don't give a fuck that he lost to Kendrick or whatever. Like they don't care about
That's true,
that
but
spot.
you gotta understand, like,
But
when
there was a big
when
part.
Drake dropped For All the Dogs, you know how many people was disappointed that it was so much fucking R&B.
Yeah.
Like, it was so much fucking R&B. We listening to this shit, we like, bro, this for all the, you said For All the Dogs. We thinking you was about to be on this bitch rapping, talking your shit,
Yeah.
this, that, and the third.
He
And that's
said
what,
he
and,
was.
and that's what,
And
that's,
Yachty said that shit too.
and that's-
Yachty's like, this
and-
is hardest verse ever, or some
man,
shit like that. Yeah.
and that's what, man, you can't listen to Lil Yachty for shit.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that's what ended up him making him drop Scary Hours 3, because, like,
Yeah.
he got a good portion of his fan base that want to hear
For
him
sure.
rap.
And I think too Drake wants that. Like I think Drake has a real love for like hip hop, like he wants to be Michael Jackson, but I think he also wants to be, like Jay-Z. Like I think he literally I think that was the point of Scorpion when he had only 2 features labeled. Now he had like Ty and other people like part of the record obviously, but he had only 2 labeled features. Michael Jackson and Jay-Z. So like it shows that he's shown for a while that that's what he wants to be. He wants to be
Blue
both.
Tint on there?
Yeah, which I think is
They got Future on it.
What's that?
They got Future on it.
Oh yeah, Future too. I forgot.
Future on there.
But when the album initially dropped, those were the only 2 listed features.
Label type shit.
Yeah. So I think that you're right. I think it's a route of features, and I think he just has to find those sounds, and hop on other people, hop on those big records, let them gain momentum, and then kind of go from there. Because think about how J. Cole dropped Red Leather and Grippy since 7 Minute Drill. Drake, one of these 2 songs better be on this Camilla album, better be hard hitting, because like he's gonna get labeled the same way Cole got labeled for like being soft if he drops like 2 like female records like right after you just had this whole beef. I feel like Drake is in a tough position because the internet's gonna want to criticize him regardless of what he does. But if I'm in Drake's camp, I'm telling him take a little bit more time. I would say don't even drop anything until July, August. Just chill, but the song still get a little bit of that summer momentum right at the end there when it's think about August, September. The college kids are going back to school. Get that record out there. Then start working that, and then lead that into momentum to whatever your next project is. Because I don't think he can go away, and I don't think he necessarily fully needs to. But I think it would be smart for him to go away. I think if he has the luxury to go away, I think that would do him some wonders. I think people will realize quickly how much we miss Drake, how much we miss if we don't have a Drake in our summer lives. People are gonna miss that. So I think Drake making us miss him a little bit I think would be a good thing.
I think so too. That was gonna be my second idea. It was just to take some chill time, if anything. But I want him going a future run and just keep jabbing at niggas. I find it entertaining.
I feel you. Okay, so last thing I want to do before we get out of here. So every month you came up with the idea, so shout out to you. We're gonna throw it in this one, and then going forward, I don't know if we're gonna keep it separate or how we're gonna do this. But the idea of kind of wrapping up each month. This month was obviously predominantly about the beef. We've had that discussion. Don't need to get into that. Let's look at the other part of it, because besides the beef, which was obviously the biggest storyline in the month of May, favorite projects of the month. So what came out in the month of May that was to you the best or your favorite?
I have this album potentially being album of the year, and that will be One of One. One, how you want to say it.
The Gunna album?
Gunna shit was definitely, I'm banging
Smoke.
that shit every day. I'm banging that shit every day. It only got one skip on it. I only skipped one song on it, but.
Which one is it?
Trish.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of Gunna and his repetitive choruses.
Yeah.
It'd be hit or miss. But everything else, fire. One thing I really appreciate about the album that, like, because at first, like, when I first, obviously on first listen is different than when you keep listening to the album. Like, don't get me wrong, Gunna still got the same sound, but you can hear him mature in a lot of his lyrics. Like, when you listen to Today I Did Good, like, you can hear, like, him actually maturing, and I think that's a big step in Gunna's career, is maturing, because, it might be hard for him to get out of his, like, developing a new sound and shit like that. So like Today I Did Good is one of my favorite songs on there because you could just hear damn, like Gunna, like he might have had his little rite of passage or you know what I'm saying, like type shit. So, but yeah, Gunna, definitely up there. Definitely the best album last month.
Yeah, for me, before I give mine, I just want to give Gunna his credit because that album was fire. The
Oh yeah, and got a shout out Almighty So too. That shit was fire. I think that came out last month too. Oh yeah, they came out on the same day.
Chief, right?
I think they came out on the same day.
Chief
Yep.
Keef, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. We were
Fire.
just listening to that record actually before you pulled up.
Mhm.
Yeah, the one thing that surprised me was like having a 6.5 minute outro on a Gunna album.
Outro's fire.
Never expected that. So like that was incredible. Yeah, it was a dope record. That was very high up there for me as far as my albums of the month. But to me, it was Vince Staples.
Yeah, Vince Staples. Forgot about
That Vince Staples album was so.
He had some nice tracks on there. I ain't gonna lie. That's the thing. Like, obviously, every rapper going to evolve and mature, or whatever. It's kind of in a sense I never wanted Vince Staples to mature, and like, and I know it just had to happen because he's not the same. He's not the same person he was 10 years ago. But no, still a good album. There was some good tracks on there. I fuck with Vince Staples heavy, so whether he mature or do his bullshit or whatever, I'm gonna support him regardless.
Yeah.
Good rapper, good dude.
Yeah, man. I will say the Wild Vince is
It was
still
the best. It was the best.
Bro, them tweets I showed you with Lil Nas X, where he was
I see that.
Lil Nas X was wild, and he was like, "Bro, it is 8 a.m. You need to relax, dog.
That shit was silly.
You need to relax." But yeah, those are all good albums to me. Vince Staples was my favorite because it had. It just that 3 album run he's had, I think, Vince Staples is never going to be looked at as like a legend or like an icon or like, he's not going to be on people's top 20s. He's not going to, like that. He's not that level of artist in terms of reverence, but the respect I have for him and what he did with this album run, I think is one of the better album runs of the last decade. When you really look at those are 3 really, really solid bodies of work. And so I think it was awesome for him to see that. And now, like I said last week when we talked about the record, the fact that got him out of his deal with Def Jam, and now he's got the Netflix thing. I think he's just about to usher into a whole new level of creativity, and I can't wait to see where it goes, because I always want to see an artist be creative and push themselves, even if it's not necessarily where I want them to go. Because, a lot of times with being creative is, people will create some shit that's new, some fresh, and then you'll realize how much you like the old shit,
Right.
But I think with Vince, I trust what he's going to do. I'm excited to see what he's got going forward. For me, the other runner-up I wanted to mention, this is R&B, but this guy Russell dropped the album, and he is a dope Filipino R&B artist, and he just he did his thing on this album. Like, the production was fire, the melody's fire. I haven't stopped listening to that record since it came out. I think it was 2 weeks ago now. So it was a good month. Had a lot of stuff happen. Had a lot of good music happen, I should say, and a lot of stuff happened with the beef. But going into June now, we're about to approach the halfway. So we're gonna have next month. We're gonna have our albums of the year so far. We're gonna have all of that. But right now, if you just had to make any type of prediction for the month of June, what would it be? When you talk about albums that are dropping, or surprises, or just things that you think could happen in the month of June, you see kind of playing out in the next month.
Honestly, I have no idea. All I know is Playboy Cardi. I'm tired of waiting on you to drop an album, bro. That shit's really grinding my gears. I was really looking forward to that shit at the beginning of the year. Now I just feel like a faded memory, and it's pissing me off.
I feel like with Cardi, I feel like he hasn't been producing, or he hasn't been making this much noise without an album in like forever. Because usually he just goes away and comes back. But I feel like I've been hearing for now a year, like, new music coming, shot a music
Yeah,
video.
it's because he dropping singles and shit.
Yeah, like
And he alluding to it for
yeah,
real.
like I think yeah, the singles, like he's doing he's doing some promotional work. So I'm excited to see what he's got coming. But to me, I think there's a few things. I think there's one. I think Kanye is gonna just find a way to reassert himself. Remember, Vultures 2 was supposed to happen.
Forgot about Kanye. Yeah.
Vultures 2 was supposed to happen. It did not happen.
He need to do a collab album with Playboy Cardi. Like, what the fuck? That should be
Yeah.
way more fire than him and Ty Dolla $ign.
I
Like,
agree.
that should be so fucking fire.
I agree. I also think that we're not done with the ramifications yet of this beef. I know you say, it's going to die down by the end of summer. I still think, well, we passed the peak of this
No, I
beef.
said the Drake hate train
Oh, the
was gonna
Drake
die
hate,
down by
yeah.
the end of summer.
Yeah, I think that's going to continue this next month. I think there's going to be more conversations. There's going to be more stuff alluded to, like, oh, this rapper never really liked Drake, or oh, this story comes out, or oh, this reference track, or I think there's going to I don't think that they're done beefing with Drake. I don't think the whole industry is done beefing with Drake. I think Kendrick's done. I think, like, I'm not even going to speak on, I know everybody wanted to blow up my phone talking about Kendrick's producer said, they're locked in and all that, but Kendrick's always locked in. He's always making music. Just because he's always making music doesn't mean it's ever going to come out. So I'm not counting on no Kendrick.
Yeah, they said the only reason his album ain't come out because Not Like Us did so good. It sold the equivalent of 2 albums. So they was just chilling on it.
No, I think Kendrick is going to.
No, like, for sure, like, valid sources type shit said that shit.
Yeah, okay,
like,
I'm gonna have to see those valid sources because when it comes to Kendrick, I don't believe an album is even close to done.
Oh, it might. Well, at least what Axe said on this part, he was basically saying that Kendrick was supposed to drop last month, but the beef had happened, and they didn't know that Not Like Us was gonna do as good as it did. So basically, that's why they put out an album. So
I mean, look, that does make sense. Like, that line of theory applies a lot.
I don't see why he wouldn't have an album ready. What shit? Then what? Big Steppers came out like 2 years ago.
Yeah, but I mean, before that, it was 5 years between albums. Like, Kendrick takes time. Like,
Was it him not wanting to drop albums, or was his label like kind of like? Was he signed to TDE?
That was part of it, negotiation. But I do think that they would have gotten that paperwork done whenever the album was ready. So I think it was more so creative. Like Kendrick even said, for 2 years he literally just was unable to write. Like 2 whole years he was unable to write. So I think he is deep in the process of another album. I think here's what I'll say if I'm Kendrick, here's what I think Kendrick will do. I'll say this first. I think if we get an album from Kendrick this year, it is a collab album with Baby Keem. I think he's going to push Baby Keem. I think the more likely thing is that this year, later in the summer, Baby Keem drops. Kendrick's a part of it on a couple songs, just like the last album, whatever. Boom. Continues the momentum. And Kendrick does what Kendrick likes to do, which is April or May of 2025. He'll drop an album because he likes to be ready for all of festival season. He likes to run the entire summer. He did that with Damn. He did that with Mr. Morale. He did that. He did that to a smaller extent with Spin Butterfly. That was March, but it was still the same goal and same premise. So he likes that. He likes to drop that time of year so that he kind of carries momentum for the rest of the year. So I think Kendrick is going to gear up for 2025. And if I'm Kendrick, I'm looking at the resume as this: I got the classic albums. I have now a beef under my belt. I have all the attention in the world.
You don't count this as a second beef?
No, I think
you don't count the Big Sean.
No, it never went anywhere. This is the first real battle beef that he came out with. So I think when you're looking at his legacy, I think the next thing that if I was him, I would do is I would continue to take this momentum, push Baby Keem, get a record out there with Keem, another Hillbillies type record, whatever. Also, just continue to ride, the hot records of the year. Do a feature run. You haven't done a feature run. Do a feature run. Talk your shit, like kind of what we're telling Drake to do. Kendrick, double down on that. Talk your shit, because you're not really known as like a feature rapper, and then let that carry the momentum into your next album, because historically Kendrick goes experimental, and then he comes back commercial. He did that Section 80 experimental, Good Kid commercial, Spin Butterfly experimental, Damn commercial, Mr. Morale experimental. I think he played this shit out beautifully. I think there's a reason he engaged in the beef with Drake now, because he dropped Mr. Morale, where he basically just put out all his flaws, and he did it. He 8-miled himself with a whole album. Drake didn't have the intel on him, so now he's done that. He's continued the media darling narrative. Now after this beef, he can just talk a whole bunch of shit, all messy, for like another year and a half, 2 years, and everybody's gonna eat it up. He can now, all that talk about him saying I'm the boogeyman, like now he can really double down on that if he wants to. So if I'm Kendrick, that's my strategy, that's my angle if I'm Kendrick. But what I think is gonna happen is I think he's gonna for sure push Baby Keem, and I think if he's dropping this year, it's a collab album with Baby Keem. And that, because Baby Keem's been rumored to be close to done with an album for a while, or deep in the process of an album for a while. So I think that this is going to be something that Keem and Kendrick will kind of use this momentum to push both of them, and then Kendrick's going to come next year with some crazy commercial shit. That's what I think Kendrick's going to do. But as far as June goes, I think it's just going to be more residue of the beef, and I think we're gonna just start seeing a lot more drops, because people kind of held up for the Drake and Kendrick beef. And I think they're still kind of holding up for the Drake and Kendrick beef.
Oh yeah.
So I think eventually all these summer albums have got to get out.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's the beginning of the summer too, so I can see them dropping the first 2 weeks.
So
trying to get them bitches out.
Yeah, well, that'll do it for this episode of the Rap Cave Podcast. Let us know what you think. Shout out my boy Birdie for holding it down. Shout out all the guys. They will be here next week. We had to get it out there. We didn't want to not miss the we didn't want to miss the drops, and we didn't want to miss a week. So we had to come here. We had to talk our shit, and and continue the momentum of the pod. So
Yep, still a good episode too.
yeah, it was a fire episode. Dynamic duo, Luka and Kyrie.
Yes, sir.
I might have Chris make that the thumbnail just for the fuck of it. I might see Chris make that. But thank you everybody for tuning in to Rap Cave Podcast. Let us know in the comments below. What would you advise Drake to do in the beef or post beef? What would you have him do the rest of the year? What were some of your favorite projects of the last month? What predictions do you have for the month of June? What did you think of Eminem's new single? All that and more. We'll be back next week talking all the new music, everything. So like, comment, share, subscribe, help this place grow. This is a community that we want to build, and we need your help to build that community. You are vital to that. So all of the things you do to help push us in the algorithms are greatly appreciated. So please do that, and we'll catch you next week, everybody. Have a good week. Peace.